So hello everyone, and welcome back to the WP-Tonic show, episode number 325. Now, you don't need to adjust your set. This is Cindy Nicholson and the co-host of WP-Tonic, and I do have Jonathan here with me today, but today I'm putting Jonathan, our illustrious host of the show.
Oh, I like that, Cindy, illustrious.
There you go. So I'm going to put him on the hot seat today, and I'm going to have the opportunity to interview him and talk about his zone of genius. And we're going to be talking about, WordPress solutions for membership sites and online courses and how it compares to other providers. So, Jonathan, would you like to say hello to your audience?
Hello, audience. It's Jonathan here. It's a bit odd, actually.
I can imagine it must be. So, okay. So, Jonathan, I'm going to start off by asking you a question. You've been doing this podcast for a while, so I'm sure that your audience knows you.
I think my audience probably feels that way as well.
So they probably know you pretty well. So what I would like you to do to kick off this show is to share, I'm going to put you on the spot here, share a little known fact about yourself that your audience probably doesn't know.
Well, I moved to the US 12 years ago. I can't believe it's 12 years ago, with my ex-wife. And I think, unfortunately, things didn't work out between me and her. But I think most people realise, a lot of people think I broadcast from England, but I actually live in the outskirts of Reno, in a town called Carson City, which is about 20 miles from Reno, which is in Nevada, northern Nevada, Cindy.
Wow. And how does living in Nevada compare to living in England?
Slightly different.
I can imagine.
Same language, different attitudes. What did Churchill? Somebody said it's kind of the same language, isn't it? Well, it's different. I've got used to the sunshine. See, Cindy. Northern people think, when I have friends coming over to England, they say, "Oh, well, we're flying to Las Vegas and we're just pop in and see you." And when I tell them that it's an 8-hour drive, that's the strange thing, because it's pretty mountainous, Nevada. And you have to go around all these mountains. If you actually fly, it's about an hour, which is mind-boggling. You're just flying over all these mountains, basically. But if you're driving, you have to go round the mountains. So it takes you 8 hours. So I've forgotten what you just asked. You were asking me the difference. So I think it's the sunshine and the distances. I think most English people have no conception how vast America is.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely no concept of the vastness of the country.
Yes.
And native Americans are probably using the wrong term here, or people that have been born here. It's just second nature that they're going to have to fly or drive 24 hours to get somewhere, which is totally out of the normal experience of somebody living in the UK, really.
Yeah, no, it's kind of the same for me, being from Canada or living in Canada. It's the exact same thing. If you want to go anywhere within Canada, you usually are thinking about a long drive or a flight to get there. So I totally know what that means.
Yeah.
All right, so you ready to get started, Jonathan?
Yes, I am, Cindy.
Okay.
So let's go and ask you a question, Cindy.
Yeah, well, see, this is where, Jonathan, you got to hand the mic over to me. So dealing with online courses and membership sites and everything like that, one of the biggest questions I always get is, what is the best platform to host your course or membership site on? And inevitably, it always comes up and is often a source of delay for people because they kind of can't make that decision. So it's great to have you on today to actually give some guidance for those people that are mulling over this decision. Like, where do I host my courses or my membership site? So maybe we can just start out by talking about, if people come to you and ask you, where should I host my course? How do you help them make that decision? What are the considerations to think about?
Well, I think it's what stage they are on their road to course domination. That is the crucial part of it. Where are they on this long winding road? And I think it's very similar to e-commerce. I've been involved in the WordPress community for the past 8-9 years. I'm biased to some degree, and I'm committed to the open source WordPress world. But as with e-commerce, I'm not sure that WooCommerce, which is the leading WordPress solution, if you're going to go into e-commerce, is the best solution for certain people. And what I mean by that is that there's about 3 to 4 what we call fully hosted SaaS services products. One of them is called Shopify, and there's a couple others, big e-commerce, but Shopify to me is the lead of the pack of these fully hosted SaaS solutions, Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
And Shopify, if you're looking to just get started, you really haven't done the things that we have talked about over the weeks about building that pre-audience. You really haven't done any of all the things that we've suggested. Very naughty of you, but it happens, doesn't it? And you should especially listen to Cindy. And you haven't done anything, so you have no idea. Probably using one of I would not suggest that you go down the WooCommerce, because building audience is just the same in e-commerce as it is with membership sites and learning management systems. You should be building a pre-audience, testing product fit, all the things that we discussed. I would go Shopify and get it up and running, but I would not totally commit myself to Shopify because it's a great platform, but you have no ownership. And people are scratching their head and they're probably saying, well, I don't have ownership of the site if I set up my own hosting and I use WooCommerce. No, you're not right about that because it's open source. There's a lot of developers out there. You could move your website from any host to another host whenever you choose to. As long as you don't sign a year or 3-year hosting contract, keep it to the minimum a year. And then if you get fed up with the service you're getting from the hosting provider, you just move your WordPress site to another hosting provider. So you're not entrapped with anybody. You can move anywhere you like. Now with Shopify, great company, great support, but if you build out a whole website on Shopify and then you decide for some reason it can't do something that you really want or need, that your clientele have really, shouted out to you that it needs, you're stuck. They might build it into the product or they might not. If they get enough requests and it's technically possible, they might consider it at some time. But you're stuck with them, and migrating a Shopify site to WooCommerce is achievable, but it's expensive because there's no automated way of doing it. Now, he's been waffling on about WooCommerce. I thought we would be talking about membership sites. The reason why I'm describing this is that it totally matches with what we're going to be discussing with membership sites, Cindy, is that you want to build on it, but you don't want to over-invest on the site. You want to get this is how I would approach it. You would choose one of the SaaS offerings. You would utilize the ability to build something, and then I would move on after you've proven the concepts, the branding, that there's a demand for that course. I would then consider moving to WordPress, because of the flexibility, ownership, flexibility of design and all the other features. But it really depends on what stage you're into this. The other factor is that some people, WordPress was at a stage where until about a year, 18 months ago, you needed, if you wanted a minor change, you would have to have a developer to move a button from the left to the right. If you wanted to integrate your CRM, like ActiveCampaign or Drip, with your WordPress site, that was a bit of a nightmare. If you wanted to develop a landing page, you would have to hire a developer. And because of these restraints, these fully hosted solutions appeared, and a lot of people moved to them because it just made the whole process a lot easier. Is that making sense, Cindy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, things have changed in WordPress with page builders, with a program that, a plugin that actually sponsors our show, Cindy, WP Fusion. You can now easily communicate with your CRM, like ActiveCampaign, with page builders like Beaver Builder, which is one of the leading ones and the one I recommend. You can now edit your pages with themes have also totally changed. You have a new breed of themes like from Astra that are purposely designed to work with the leading learning management system plugins like Lifter and LearnDash. So the landscape over the past 18 months has considerably changed. When you're dealing with the web folks, years are like cat years. Like, like 1 year in cat years is 3 years, isn't it, Cindy?
I don't know what it is for cats. I know it's 7 for dogs. Is it 3 for cats?
It's probably 7, isn't it? I probably got that totally mixed up. I apologise.
Longer than 1 year.
Yeah, I'm just saying that things change a lot more rapidly online. And some of the key reasons why you wouldn't look at WordPress have evaporated now, to my opinion. But we've got a couple more minutes, and then we're going to have to go for our breaks. But I'm just going to go what I see as some of the leading fully hosted providers, and there's a number of them, but the 3 that I think are that you should consider if you don't consider WordPress is Teachable, Thinkific, and Kajabi. Now, it's the most expensive Kajabi because it's $129 if you pay monthly. You can get it slightly above $100 a month. If you pay yearly, I think you get 20% off. And like I say, it's the most expensive at $129, but it has the most usable. The other factor against these fully hosted solutions at different levels, depending on the one you go, is that their themes, they use the mythology of themes or templates. You tend to end up with sites that look very similar to a lot of other sites. Now, Kajabi probably gives you the most customizable editor, but it's still restrictive compared to what you could do with WordPress. But of these breed, I would say it's the most editable. They give you the most ability to have a more unique in design terms, right? The other factor is its integration with various systems, especially CRMs like ActiveCampaign, is they have a lot of that integration built in to the actual interface, where something like Teachable, and I do think Teachable is a little bit more usable, more along the road than Thinkific. One of the great things is there's such a number of these platforms now that they're all in a kind of arms race, which is great news to the users. But this compared Kajabi with Teachable, I think, because otherwise it's going to get a bit confusing, is that the actual integration with CRMs isn't as intuitive in the Teachable interface. They're all using Zapier. I don't know if you ever heard about Zapier. Zapier is a fantastic technology that enables different software services and packages to communicate with one another. The way Kajabi uses Zapier is it's a unified interface, and they've dealt with all the technology with Teachable. When you set up a Zapier, you actually get migrated to the Zapier website, and it's a little bit more clunky, really, Cindy. I think we're going to have to go for our break, Cindy, and then when we come back, I'm going to have a quick mention of one of our sponsors. We'll be back soon, folks. They're coming back. Cindy done a fantastic job. I've been waffling. Before we go into the second part, I just want to mention one of our great sponsors, and that's Kinsta Hosting. And Kinsta Hosting is a specialized WordPress only hosting provider, and they use the power of Google Cloud hosting. So the actual speed and quality of the hosting is fantastic. And they also have a fantastic interface, and they also offer all the bells and whistles as you, a developer or a power WordPress user, would want from your hosting. Staging site, one-click recovery, latest versions of PHP. It's really much better value, and I think a better hosting provider than WP Engine. And they're just cool people to work with. So they host the WP-Tonic website and some of my clients' websites. Go to the WP-Tonic website. You see banners that will take you to Kinsta. If you use those banners and links, they are affiliate links. So you'll be helping the show and helping yourself. So how well do you think I did in the first half, Cindy?
Right. So you've done a good job kind of really setting the stage as to what are the considerations of which platform, and then you've also talked about some of the key differences between some of the SaaS providers and the benefits of, say, Kajabi versus Thinkific or Teachable. So do you have any other thoughts around those other providers? Or
well, price comes into it, and if you start off, one of the strengths is that Thinkific offer a free free level account. That really attracts a lot of people. But if it's paid, the course is paid. You pay a very high you pay a high fee per transaction of 10% on the free account. With Teachable and Thinkific, with the Teachable, their starter plan starts at $39 and you pay 5%. And then with the Thinkific, if you go up from the free account to their standard account, it's $49 a month, but it's 5%, right? And then, like I said in the first half of the show, if you go to Kajabi, these are monthly, by the way, you start off at $129, right? So Kajabi is quite a jump, isn't it, Cindy?
Right.
But what you're paying for, they all offer hosting. They all offer hosting of your videos, different levels of customization. I touched that at the first half, that I feel that Kajabi of all of them offers the most slick one of its strengths is integration with third parties, slick interface, and the most customizable of all these hosted providers when it comes to the actual design of your site. They've built out a very slick product, but it still has the restraints that you can't do as what you want. You at some stage will be restricted by what you want or need to do by being with one of these hosting providers, basically. But I think what you can see is with Kajabi is that jump in price, basically, isn't it, Cindy?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a question for you, Jonathan. So let's say they have started out with, one of these other third-party platforms, Kajabi or Thinkific or whatever, and they are realizing they want to have more customization and, are deciding to, make the leap over to WordPress. What does that, how do they go about doing that transfer? How do they get from the clients that they have on Thinkific or Kajabi over to the WordPress platform?
Well, that's why having a plan of action is probably, like I said at the beginning of the course, having a cut-off point, thinking, I might use one of these to test the waters, and then when I start getting traction, I will then look to move to WordPress rather than building up like 400, 1,000, 10,000 subscribers and then realizing but it's so easy to do that, isn't it? I understand why people do that because the prospect, even when you get 500 subscribers and then you're looking to move, you think, I can't be bothered with this. I need to concentrate on my goals and building it up some more. So you tend to leave it. What I'm struggling and hope, but what I really want to make clear is it's best to have a plan to realize the tool you're using, I used it for this reason, but I've now know that I have audience, that I have subscribers, it's time to move on. It's time to realize that I don't want to invest any more money on this platform. Now, you asked how easy. It just really depends, because this is a changing target, because they do offer export of data out of their systems. To be truthful, it's totally possible. It's not going to be the most easiest. This is why you want to go to a specialist, somebody that's got experience in dealing with membership sites. I'm supposed to kind of blow my own horn now. WP-Tonic is one of those. But there's a number of specialized developers and companies that only specialize in membership learning management system. It's better to go to one of those, because they will have experience about moving and give you advice on each specific platform. I'm sorry I couldn't be more specific like that, but it is a kind of changing target, really.
Yeah, and I think it probably makes sense. I think your point is a good one about just having a plan of action as to, if you just want to take a kick at the can, this is a simple way to get it up and running and get that proof of concept. But with a longer term plan to maybe look towards, what potential WordPress solutions are available. Because as you had said at the beginning, these third-party providers, really came up because WordPress wasn't necessarily as easy to deal with and to work with. But a heck of a lot has changed over the last 18 months, and you highlighted what some of those changes are. But I think one of the other really big changes that is coming with this with the word, doing your course on, WordPress or membership site or what have you, is the support that you now have available to you in terms of running this. So, and I think you've got something really exciting coming up, Jonathan, in terms of the support that you can give to people who have these online courses that are worried about maybe being all alone in the WordPress world. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what service you provide for these clients that are looking for the help in the WordPress world when they have their online courses or membership sites.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy. So what I've developed is a kind of turnkey solution that you get the benefit of both worlds. I call it a hybrid WordPress solution, where we provide hosting. When it comes to WordPress, a lot of people, out of kind of semi-ignorance, tend to go with hosting that isn't best suited for a membership learning management platform. These need a little bit more humph. So we provide the hosting. We're using Google Cloud, so you get tremendous hosting. We combine Lifter LMS because I think Chris and his team are building out some fantastic, innovative functionality when it comes to membership and learning management systems. And they are moving hard and fast with the amount of new developments that they're putting in. We also combine it with Beaver Builder and WP Fusion. Beaver Builder allows you to really edit and customize your site without having to hire a developer. But if you ever do need it, we're there to do some customization, which you can't do with Beaver Builder, or if you want us to do it. We include WP Fusion, which enables you to really communicate with your WordPress site with your CRM of choice. And the great thing with WP Fusion is A, it's easy to use, and B, it integrates with almost 40 different CRMs, Cindy. We also have partnered with View Player, which is one of the most premier video hosting. You get your own login account to manage and host, and you get that integrated into your WordPress interface. And Woo Player offers a number of security options and ease of use, plus its player is one of the best on the market. So we've integrated that into the system as well. And transitional email, we use mail, a leading mail provider, and we set up sub account, and so all your email that comes from your membership and learning management system will get into your subscribers' inboxes and not into their junk folder. And we set all that up, and there's a host of other elements into that. And it starts around $50 to $60 a month. I am going to offer the listeners to this a special. If you use this coupon code WP-Tonic Turnkey, all in one word, all uppercase, so that's WP-Tonic Turnkey, you'll get 50% off for the first year on all our packages. We offer 3 packages, and there will be a link in the show notes that will take you straight to a page that tells you everything about this turnkey solution. What do you reckon, Cindy?
I think that's amazing, Jonathan. Again, it really kind of, anytime I hear arguments for against going with third party, it's always everything is done for you and you don't have to worry about things when it comes to the third party. But here you've kind of, as you say, created that hybrid, that link or satisfy that, reservation that people have with WordPress. And you offer a ton of bonuses associated with that. So that's really, really exciting. So when is all of this when is all this going to be available to?
Well, it's now. The landing page is there, gives you all the details. You can sign up for a package. It takes us a couple of days to get everything set up. I like to do an initial Zoom with a client, and after we got everything set up for them, it's a kind of I hold their hands session, and I show them all the functionality for Zoom. And if they ever need any other additional training, they can always contact us. And I normally do the training personally myself, Cindy. So it's a really bespoke personal service you're getting at a really high value price. But what it does give you is the other factor, which I didn't make clear, is that with Astra Theme, we offer like 2 themes that have been specifically designed for membership site, but you also get a whole library or over 50 websites, which with one click you can publish. And then you have the power of Beaver Builder, where Astra has totally integrated the theme with using Beaver Builder, and then you can customize it to your heart's content. Really, it really is a hybrid solution that combines, I feel, and I'm biased because this is why, but I saw a need here where I think people compared WordPress with a past experience they had that was based like 2 years ago, and they've left WordPress, they've gone to one of these hosted solutions, they tolerate all the restrictions because they don't want any of the pain that they kind of link WordPress. But like what I said, Cindy, WordPress has moved on considerably over the past 8, and it's you're dealing with a different animal now.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right, and I think you just kind of your solution, really fills that gap, and is great for people who do want to have the option to have that customizable layout for their courses and their membership sites.
Well, I think we're going to round it up now, Cindy. You've done a great job. So folks, if you really want to support the show, give us some feedback. We love feedback, either on the Facebook page or on the website itself. You can always leave comments on both areas, or Twitter. Whatever you like, give us feedback. And if you feel really generous, and it does really help the show, is give us a review on iTunes, because that I've got some great news with Cindy's help and my Friday show. Our figures have really gone up recently, and we're getting a lot of new listeners to the show. I love to get more feedback from you about where we're taking the show, the Wednesday and the Friday show, and what you would like us to cover, and that would be smashing. So we're going to wrap it up now, folks, and like I say, next week we'll have somebody, an expert, talking about how to make your membership learning management system more profitable, more successful, or WordPress, or marketing, online marketing in general, something that will help you and your business be more successful. We'll see you next week, folks. Bye.